Welcome back, this is Johnny Clouds here at A1A Vapors, and today another pod system. Now, so many pod systems, let's review something new, and we're going to review the long-awaited Wotofo Profile RTA, or the Unity RTA. This is designed by Mr. Just Right, Brian from the Vaping Chronicles, and Wotofo. So let's take a look inside the box here, and it looks like it has a nice little extension glass replacement or whatever, and the actual RTA. Let's take a close look. It has a nice little engraving. It says Profile on that. This is, like I said, the Profile Unity by Wotofo. And let's take it apart real quick. It has a nice beefy drip tip here, and looks like it's 810 with the O-rings inside. And let's look at the bottom here. It looks like a gold-plated 510 connection, and it says Mr. Just Right, Wotofo, TVC, which is the Vaping Chronicles. If you ever want to check out his YouTube reviews and channel, he does a live cast once a week, also on the Vape Team and Not Another Vape Show. He's actually very informative and an awesome designer of products, like the top side, the drop, the top side single battery, the dual battery, the drop solo, and many other things like the drop dead RDA. But back to the Profile Unity. Looks like it has 5 airflow holes with, let's see here, let's give it a spin, and it looks like, yep, 5 airflow holes on both sides, and what you do on one side does on the other, like so. And has a stopper, so it doesn't just keep free spinning, which is good. And it slides really smooth. The airflow is really nice. The machining on this looks amazing. The color is fantastic. So let's take this apart. Top fill, it is a 1/4 turn. So you just 1/4 turn and top fill like that. Looks like on the side of the fill cap there's a little notch, and it just lines up and just put it right on, and let's see, there you go, and just twist. So no funky slide or anything like that, or a swivel top. It just twist and pull it off. And the fill ports are rather large as well. If you can see here how large the fill ports are on both sides, there's a good look right there, and same thing on the other side. So taking this apart here, let's give this a twist. So when you take the glass portion off, it has this metal portion that goes in the glass, held in by an O-ring, and it just slides into the chimney. Taking the base off of this, you just twist and like this, which exposes the chimney. Let's take a close look here. What you'll see is some airflow holes on the side, and wicking holes in there. Let's see if we get the light in there. A little autofocus. You see it a little bit right there. And then the base. And this is the star of the show, because if you know anything about the Profile RDA, it was a little bit revolutionary, because with mesh, people have mixed feelings about them, because with mesh, it seems like it's more susceptible to burning. A lot of people like to use mesh with a squonker, but with the Profile RTA and RDA, it has a spring-loaded ceramic section right. I'll bring this down a little bit, right here, and see how it's spring-loaded. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw a build on here and show you how to wick it up and cut the cotton so it wicks correctly, so your chance of dry hitting or burning is slim to none. So without further ado, we're gonna grab the contents of the box here and get rolling. What's cool in the box, they actually include this little screwdriver, which is nice, and like so, like this, and then it comes with this metal rod, and this is dual purpose in my opinion, but it's definitely going to help when bending the mesh coil. I'm going to throw this base of this Unity profile on my Coil Master ohm reader here, just for something to build on. We're going to screw this on nice and snug. The one thing about this RTA is once you build it, you have to take the base off and screw it to the rest of the RTA. You can't just take the rest of the RTA and screw it on top, and they did that for specific design purposes, but just a note right there. Also inside the box is some Wotofo cotton, and it's shoestringed to make things a little bit easier. A parts kit, and inside this parts kit is O-rings, extra grub screws, extra springs for the ceramic portion that's going to push the cotton up into the mesh coil, and the extension is what makes it possible to use the taller glass, so you get a little more capacity. They also included this mesh coils. There's a couple of them in here, and they ohm out at 0.13 individually. You're only going to use one at a time, obviously, and this is from a company called Off, and they decided to work with this because it looks like it's probably going to be better performance. Otherwise they would just stick with the Wotofo stuff, I'm assuming. They say the range is 60 to 75 watts, and we're gonna juice it up, fire it up, and see how it goes. It's my first time wicking this RTA, so cross my fingers I don't get an extremely bad dry hit, burn hit, or something like that, but I've seen the correct way to wick it for the best performance, and we'll just give it a shot here. So look at the mesh coils here real quick, and what you want to do is that coiling tool that comes in it like this, you want to take the mesh and use this to bend it correctly so it's nice and round and not like square bend or anything like that. And then, so what I did here is I just bent it around. It's pretty simple, and that'll give me a base to start building it here. So I'm going to move the camera down a little bit so you can take a look at all my build tools and the rest of the parts. But let's grab the extension so we can put the tall glass on it here, and throw that on as well. I'm going to take all these parts, and what I like to do is just put this in the box so nothing goes running away without me. It's like every time I build something, I feel like it's just Murphy's Law that you have to drop something. So with that being said, I'm going to take the chimney right here and screw on the extension like so, and then I'm going to grab the taller glass, which is right here, and just put this on and screw the top on and take the original glass off, and I'm just going to pop this out, and be very careful popping this up because I don't want to break the original glass. So I'm going to put this other half down here while I do this here. The O-rings are snug, but not ridiculously snug that you can't get it out, but it looks like it makes a very good grip. And here we go. So that right there. So the difference. back. It's finally wicked up. I took extra special care to make sure I do wick it up correctly. The way I wicked it is just pretend this is the base and the cotton goes to both sides. You want to cut it at an angle upward like this. You want to thin it out so the cotton just hangs in there and touches the base of the juice well, and like that. You want to fluff it up really good. We're going to take multiple vapes on this at different wattages to see if it dry hits or burns. So 55 watts, here we go. 55 watts is pretty good flavor here. I am going to start my little stopwatch right here so you know there's no jump cutting or anything like that while I take multiple rips on this. And that was 55. We're going to turn up to 60. And let's turn up to 65 here. Let's gamble a little bit. That's 65 watts. Let's take a rip here. And flavor is amazing. It is really, really good. The last RTA that I wicked up was the Zeus X, and that is a fantastic RTA, and flavor wise it's amazing as well. This is right on par, if not a little bit better, using the mesh. And the flavor that we're vaping on is Pachamama Strawberry Jackfruit Guava. This is fantastic. I mean, if you're a fruit fan, this stuff is excellent stuff. That was at 65. Flavor's still good. No dry hits so far. Let's try it at 75 here. And flavor gets even better. So let's just bump it up to, let's gamble a little bit, 90. This is where I get a little apprehensive chain ripping this thing, because my experience with mesh, I've always been very, very careful, because with the mesh RDA, I ran at about 70. Anything higher than that, I would always be very apprehensive about dry hitting or burning it. So this is 90 now. And let's take a few rips here. Flavor is out of this world. That's 2 so far. Still flavorful and no dry hit so far. Still rocking here. Well, I think that was 4. 5. Still no signs of dry hitting yet. This thing is waking up fantastic. This profile unity is amazing so far. So let's keep going. 7 at 90 watts. 8. 9. Still going. See, I got the stopwatch here, so you know there's no jump cutting, editing, waiting. Just let it wick up. I'm just gonna keep chain ripping it here. That's 10. 11. 12. I don't know many people that are gonna chain rip this 12 times back to back to back to back to back to back in a row on a regular basis. So at 90 watts, the flavor is amazing. That's plenty for me as wattage goes. It makes really, really, really dense, flavorful vapor. My hat's off to Mr. Just Right, Brian from the Vaping Chronicles, and Wotofo for making a truly exceptional RTA. This thing is awesome. The flavor in this is amazing. If you're looking for a rebuildable tank atomizer and you haven't found one that does it for you flavor wise and vapor wise, I think this will be the one for you. It comes in a whole bunch of colors: blue, gunmetal, silver, black. There's a couple more, but we have them here at A1A Vapors. I'm Johnny Clouds. signing off. Keeping it cloudy here, and have a fantastic weekend, and keep on vaping.